Intellectual loneliness over 60. Do you find that your conversations are becoming less and less stimulating? Particularly those of us who are older, who are not working, and even those of us who are working. Do you find that your conversations are getting less and less stimulating, that you're coming away feeling like you haven't had anything in depth for a while, or that you haven't been able to, get stuck into something which really you would enjoy because you get to think about it? So I've got four things to ask you to find out whether you are intellectually lonely, and here they are. The first one is, do you find your current conversations are less stimulating than they used to be? And it could be about anything. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to be going and talking about philosophers. It could just be talking about, I don't know, what's happening in the streets, talking about the traffic management, or talking about the noise, or talking about the light, or talking about the weather. It doesn't actually matter the subject. It's about the depth of that, and it's about the way that you might not be able to engage further than surface level. Do you get exhausted with small talk? Now, there's a difference from being exhausted with small talk because you prefer introversion, because you don't actually want to, engage with people. That's different. What I'm talking about in terms of intellectual loneliness is that sense of it never goes below this level, that you're always talking about something which really you get bored with very quickly. And small talk for people preferring introversion is more difficult because they're not interested, their brains don't work. Actually, that's a huge generalization, I might add. But generally speaking, people who prefer introversion tend to like to go in depth into conversations anyway. It's not that people preferring extroversion don't, because I prefer extroversion, but I love deep intellectual conversations. But it's more about coming away from something where you've engaged with people and it's just felt facile. That exhausts you. The third one is, do you leave functions, parties, gatherings early because they just don't feel valuable and you get bored? Do you do that? If you do that, that is also a huge sign, actually, that sense of, I can't be bothered to stay here. It's just not doing anything for me. I'm feeling like empty inside. That's another way of having intellectual loneliness. And the fourth one is, do you find you're longing? Like when you have those sort of morphic longings, can you attribute one of those longings to the desire to have more in-depth conversation on a daily basis, like the discourse that you have in life? Do you long for that to be more in-depth and for it to have something where you come away thinking clearly that you've had a conversation that stimulated your mind? If the answer is yes to those questions, or even a couple of those questions, it is very likely